What is up, Jags fans? What a time to be a Jags fan. We're coming in off of one of the biggest wins, I think, in franchise history. Why? Because I think, this is not a hyperbole, folks. I think Trevor Lawrence had a major turning point, and the whole world realizes it now. If this is your first time watching the live show, you may have come over from UCF Jaguars channel. We're breaking down the film tonight. We got some plays selected from the Jags-Titans game, Week 14. We're going to break down the film and see what made the Jags so successful. Spoiler alert, Trevor is insanely accurate. So, and he's fearless. The guy is absolutely fearless. Before we get into all of the film, make sure to subscribe to the YouTube channel. We do shows at all the time. We got all kind of shows going on during the week. Tuesdays and Fridays at 9 p.m. are dedicated times, but sometimes we do random shows. Like last night, we did a show celebrating the Jags. So you want to be subscribed, you want to hit the bell, all those things so that you get a notification when we go live. This is a fan channel for fans by fans. So I try to get to all the comments, and I want to get your thoughts on the Jags and the Titans and the Cowboys and all of that stuff. So we're going to get to all of that. This is just a straight film breakdown tonight. So if you want to hear the dissection of the Jags-Titans game, go back and watch yesterday's show. You can also listen to it as a podcast. You can search it up, Jaguars United. It's on Spotify. It's almost on Apple. I don't know what the holdup is with Apple, but it's on Spotify. You can check it out. All of the shows go straight to the podcast channel. So go check it out if you're one of those people that doesn't like video but likes audio. One of those weirdos. Shout out to the first ones in the chat. Fire of Desire says, hey, what up, Fire of Desire? Jason Trent fan says fire. His fire must be the theme for tonight. C Breacher says, it was always the Jags. Volkfang, who's a channel member. We love our channel members. Volkfang says, ayo. DJM is always here, as always. Love DJM when he's here. He says, Jason San. Rico Sock says, what's up, United? Fat Boy Shad says, yes, sir. We got the usual bandits in here tonight, so I want to hear from you guys. Tell me what y'all think. What's the deal going forward, right? So do we have a chance at Dallas? You know, I know I have this thing, and listen, this is going to make a lot of you mad. And after this, we'll get to the film. Okay, I'm sorry. I don't talk. I'm a podcaster now, so I talk a lot. All right, what can I say? I have this thing where every time I go to the game, the Jags lose. So I haven't gone to the last 2 home games, and they've won. I'm sorry, boys. I gotta go this week. I have to. I have tickets, man. I have to. I can't. I mean, there's like I was talking to. I know a guy who works for like the game day operations, whatever. He said that this game is the highest grossing game in Jaguars history as far as ticket sales. Now, does inflation and economics factor into that? Yes. But also the fact that the Cowboys are good and their fans travel well and they live everywhere. So not a lot of tickets left. Actually, I saw when I was just looking around, they're selling standing room only tickets for like $160. So that's the demand on the game. I got a ticket, so I got to go. Sorry, boys. I know y'all are going to be unhappy. But let's get right into the film now. Now, listen, this is my favorite play from the entire game. Now, I posted this on Twitter, so if you follow my Twitter, it's Jaguars_United. I post this on Twitter. Follow the Twitter and the Instagram. I mean, that's how I communicate with people during the week. I love talking to Jags fans. I could talk Jags, and you guys that are here are with me. I could talk Jags all day, every day. I really could. So hit me up in those platforms, and we can talk during the day. This was my hands-down favorite play. Now, why the Jags can't play like this every single week, like going into the half and first drive out of the half, the Jags have been great. So, I mean, this is my favorite play, right? So they're going to be in 10 personnel. Yes, Evan, for the sticklers, I know Evan Ingram is in the field here, so you could call this 11 personnel, but he's lined up as a wide receiver, so I'm going to call it 10 personnel. For those of you that are new here, 10 personnel indicates how many running backs and tight ends are in on the field. So we have 1 running back, and I'm going to say 0 tight ends because Evan Ingram is a tight end, but he's lined up as a receiver. So we call this 10-gun personnel. If you're, again, real technical, we call it 10-gun motion because you see they put this guy here in motion, all right? So the play kind of breaks down maybe, but Trevor's able to buy time with his feet. We're going to play it through first just so you can see it. Buys time with his feet, senses the pressure. what a throw there. What a throw on the sidelines. I mean, this is like they kind of the play you could tell was designed to flood shallow to the right. What I mean by that is if you take a look at what the play was designed to do, they kind of wanted to do a shallow drags from these guys here. So the play was obviously designed to go to the right. It makes sense. We're on the left hash, so the field is to the right. This is a pretty standard call. But the pressure is going to come in pretty heavy from this side. This is what makes this play great. The play was designed to go to the right, and Trevor is able to buy time, get away from pressure, and then find open Jamal Agnew. I mean, this is it, man. They're here. He's going to go back here. Look, play's designed to go to the right. Trevor sees the pressure coming. I mean, this is what a good quarterback does. He senses that Travis Etienne is one-on-one with an edge rusher. Okay, so he knows he probably does not have a lot of time in the pocket. This was just a good call by the Titans to bring pressure to this side. The Jags kind of designed the pocket to kind of move. You can see the protection this way. And so Etienne this is a challenge right here. So Etienne, first of all, credit there, man. Able to hold off the blitzer there. Juwan Taylor holds his block. Trevor finds enough time and makes the throw. I mean, this is a hard throw. We talk about all the time, Trevor Lawrence is better rolling out to the left than he is to the right. It's one of the weirdest things I've ever seen. It's one of the things that I think makes him amazing is like I've never seen a quarterback who's right-handed be able to be more accurate rolling to the left than they are to the right. And Trevor just can stop his momentum and make an accurate pass. Let's see here. I'm behind on the comments, but that's okay. Dre Bay 904 says, yes, we definitely have a chance of winning against the Cowboys. Will we win? We will win. Okay, I like that. Elliot Crabtree. What up, Elliot? Says, we're making the playoffs, no doubt. I love it. DJM says, I agree with UCF. Oh, UCF Jaguar. Oh, what up, UCF? UCF just had a great show. I know all of you guys in here are subscribed to him, so don't have to tell you to go subscribe to him, but good show. I'll be like at the game or like I'll be at like a restaurant or bar with some buddies watching the game, and I'll have UCF's like videos open on my phone, just like sitting there, and just so I can comment, I'll turn it up and I like to watch it. Elliot says T-Law is him. Isaiah Jones says it's 9:04. Maybe I'll starting the shows at 9:04. Because I already start them at 9, so I just delay them 4 minutes, and then that can be like a gimmick. Isaiah, I like that. I might take that, Isaiah. I'll give you credit if I remember. Shay, who's a channel member and is very close with the Jaguars organization, says the bomb to the end zone hit Zay in the hands. The play before that was such a great throw as well. So a lot of people on Twitter did bring up the fact that the throw before this was absolutely amazing. C. Breacher, what up? He says, stop capping. What am I capping on? C. Breacher, what am I capping on? I don't lie. But yeah, great throw. Zay Jones. I was kind of mad at Zay Jones for a second for that drop, but then he made up for it with the other catch. So great throws. My favorite play. Watch it one more time just to put a good taste in your mouth because we're talking Trevor tonight. I like Evan Ingram, and he played really well. But Evan Ingram kind of flashed, and this is what Trevor Lawrence is. So Trevor Lawrence is fearless, absolutely fearless. All right, let's see what else we have here. This is the first touchdown to Evan Ingram. All right. This was like the first touchdown we had. Just a basic drag concept. Like again, this is where the plays hit where it was supposed to go. This is a relatively easy play for Trevor to make. They caught the Titans in man coverage, right? If you take a look at it here, I don't know if you can see everything. Let me see what you can see here. Okay. They're getting man coverage here, and this is like they get the man call, and basically Ingram's going to drag, and 31's going to have to try to fight his way through traffic. Doesn't even get close. The guy who's actually ends up being closest to Evan Ingram isn't even the guy that's supposed to be covering him. Like the linebacker was just like, oh crap, he's wide open, and kind of peels off. But yeah. Don't want to call man. If you call man and listen, you can't get pressure. There's another thing here, man. Juwan Taylor, a guy that we talked about kind of being on the chopping block. Not because he's bad, just because like his contract, he's going to demand a lot of money in the open market. I mean, he's going to demand probably close to $12, $13 million in the open market. Absolutely. Should the Jags pay him that? I mean, that's a question for you guys to answer. But he's been decent. I mean, his PFF grades, we went over all the PFF grades yesterday in yesterday's show. The PFF grades are good. Not amazing, but they're good. I mean, for a right tackle, I mean, he's big. He's 6'5". He's listed as 310. He probably walks around. I mean, that was when he was at the combine. He probably walks around at like 325, if I had to guess. But, he's watching his left hand here. I mean, it's quick, but he jabs 94 right in the helmet. Right in the helmet. I mean, that kind of knocks him off base. It's enough. Trevor makes a good off-balance throw here. Sheriff does a good job with his blitzer. Caught him in man. Love to see it. Doug Peterson, right? Listen, I say all the time, people don't really want to hear this, I don't think. But when it comes to play calling for an offensive coordinator versus a defensive coordinator, it's a lot more rock, paper, scissors than people think. It's very rock, paper. It's like, okay, I'm calling man blitz. Okay, I'm calling screen. Okay, I called zone drop, but I showed blitz. Okay, I called a play action pass, right? So it really comes down to a lot of rock, paper, scissors. Now, you can look at tendencies and things like that for sure, and you can play to your strengths 100%. But when it comes down to it, it's a lot more rock, paper, scissors than people want to admit. Raiden Shogum, who I saw in UCF Jaguars chat. Go follow Raiden. Raiden has a gaming channel, YouTube and Twitch. Nolly Full Cab is here, channel member, says Duval AFC Championships, here we come. We have a lot of, and I'm right there with you. I'm not like coming down on you for this, but we have a lot of confident fans that we're gonna win the AFC South. I'm with you there. I'm on the train too, man. I'm just saying, like, it's good to see that. Like, usually I'm the only one, and I'm not. So we're gonna keep the Trevor Lawrence train going here. Okay, this is a touchdown pass to Zay Jones. This is the one that we all know and love, right? And here's one thing that I didn't really notice until I started going back and watching the film. All right, there's not much to take from this play. There's not. I mean, this was one thing that I am noticing that Trevor's doing, and you'll see it on multiple plays. Okay, so watch Trevor here. A very small nuance that I've been noticing, and is he's got the pump fake down. He has a quick pump fake. Think about being a defensive back 20 to 30 yards away from the passer, and you see him dip his front shoulder. You have to break on the ball. When we look at Dewey Wingard's interception, I mean, he breaks on the ball the second Tannehill dips his shoulder to throw it, and that's what made him get the interception. But watch Trevor Lawrence. He's really developed this quick pump fake here. Did you see that? I mean, he does this a lot. I'll be able to point this out on multiple videos. That pump fake froze the safety just long enough for him to take a false step and not be there. And this is when I was talking about Trevor being fearless. This throw right here is either the luckiest throw of all time or the greatest throw of all time. There's no in between. Because it's just high enough to where the ball's tipped, and it's just timed well enough to where Zay Jones can get, we saw it, the angle a bunch of times, just the slightest foot in there. Great play, though. I'm trying to get your name pronounced here correctly. Scharnhorst _42. Okay, sorry. I had to look at it. My monitor's kind of far and I'm kind of blind. Says, oh, yeah, I'm live. That's right. Scharnhorst is what I'm talking about. DJM, how about all them flags during the game against us? Yeah, I mean, the refs were quick to throw the flags against us. Listen, you might have brought up one of the most important things about the team this week is that they were able to overcome the penalty disparity. Disparity is the word I want to use there. They were able to overcome the penalty disparity, and that actually speaks a lot about the team. T-Law owns the Titans, says Elliot. Volkfang, channel member, says, I got to be confident. I took a plus 400 Jags to win the South bet in March or April. Volkfang, me and you, I'm with you there. I'm actually right there with you. Tiger Talk says, hey, Jason, remember when your buddy said he'd take Davis Mills over Trevor Lawrence? Tiger, I'm going to clip this and send it to him because, yes, I do. Yes, I do. But if you also remember, I was vehemently against that take. And you know how people are sometimes. They like to, have a hot take for hot take's sake. Jags Nation says, my favorite pass from him all day was this one right here. Okay. That throw is the greatest of all time. I don't see luck in it. The only reason why I thought luck, and I think some other people may have thought this too, is The player who tipped the ball, I can't remember his name. He's a rookie. We watched this film in the preview talking about how the Jags would probably pick on this guy. Like, was able to tip the ball. So if you're a taller defensive back or a more athletic defensive back, that's probably an interception. But here's where it could be the greatest pass of all time, is if Trevor Lawrence analyzed who was playing defense and knew that he could put the ball there. That's why I said it's either the luckiest or the best throw of all time. You nailed it. Most say Sharney for ease. Okay, Sharney. Okay, I'll remember that. Richmond Marauder. Yo, you ever find where Walker got hurt? No, I forgot, Richmond. Dang it. Remind me, like, on Twitter or something. I forget, man. I forget. Nolly says, if we do end up winning the division and the playoff game or two, do we retain any of our big cap hits or do they still walk? So we talked about contracts in a couple shows ago, so I don't want to go too deep into it, but Jawan Taylor has to be first up in priority as far as getting back. Like I said, he's going to probably demand 12 or 13 million. The next one is it Rayshawn Jenkins and Roy Robertson Harris. I thought played a great game. Both those guys are going to cost you to retain them. Marvin Jones Jr. I think these guys might be replaced for cheaper, and then you could go in and solidify some places where you're like evidently weak, like at nickel corner, or at interior defensive line, things like that. Jags actually says Trevor might win MVP this year. All right, let's go to the next player, and we're gonna stay on this Trevor theme. I like this one a lot. I liked this one. All right, so this one here, I really like this route concept. Again, this is like a really well designed play by Doug Peterson. You know me, I love the X's and O's. So I like when something like this comes together. Okay. So what you're going to see here is keep an eye on this here. They're going to put Evan Ingram in motion pre-snap, and he's basically going to land right here. Okay. This is our tight end. So you're going to have 2 tight ends here, and they're actually going to put these 2 tight ends on an island against this edge rusher, this defensive end. Now, this is a risky strategy because even with 2 guys, these tight ends aren't necessarily known for being blockers, right? And specifically, Evan Ingram has kind of gotten a bad rap of a blocker, which he's been very surprising this year. But not only are they going to put Evan Ingram and Chris Manhertz on this double team here, but they're also going to roll Trevor out, and he's going to sit depending on these 2 guys to make a block. Watch this. Okay, they're going to run play action, and he's going to sit right there. I mean, this was a good blocking scheme. This play was designed to do everything that it did. They were right. They guessed correctly that the Titans were going to stunt to the field or to the boundary, which not a good call here. And then they're just going to have one guy blitzing. Trevor Lawrence is going to roll out here. It's going to allow Kirk to run a good little deep zig, I guess you could call that. Different coaches call it different things. Basically, he's going to run in, and he's going to run out. You got to have time to make this throw. I mean, you have to have time to make this throw. They're going to clear out with Zay Jones. Finds the pocket. I mean, this is just good play design. Great blocking by Manhertz and Ingram on the backside. I mean, that's what opened it up. It allows Trevor to step into it. Great concept. That's it. T-Law will win us the division. This is from Elliot Crabtree. Lead us to the AFC Championship game and lead us to the Super Bowl, and we'll win it all. Mark my words. Elliot, if that all happens, then I definitely think that you get credit, although we all hope for that. Sharney says, it's crazy how a win literally makes my whole week better and a loss just wrecks it. Why must I be a fan? Sharney, I talk about it all the time that the AFC Championship game loss to the Patriots, literally, like, whatever. I would never make light of depression, but I don't think I've ever like felt depressed until like that's what kind of made me realize what people might go through. Is it's like I was depressed for a week. Like I was irritable, I was angry. Like people would say something to me, and I would just like snap on them, and I'm like, why am I snapping? And I'm like, oh, because the Jags got robbed. So I feel it, man. Brandon Waters, what up, Brandon? Hope everything's going good. Hope you're having a good holidays, Brandon. Secondary did pretty good without Cisco. Even so, hope he's healthy for the Cowboys game. Yeah, the good thing about Andre Cisco is he like sets the tone. Like, he will lay the wood and he will stroke you down the middle of the field or wherever you are. And he doesn't get called for penalties. So, I mean, he's very valuable. I know he's had some coverage issues, but I'll take him. This throw right here, like I said, Trevor is fearless, okay? Absolutely fearless. Look at this throw here. I mean, like, this triple coverage. Like, I know the linebacker doesn't do a great job sinking into his gap, but still, I mean, like, that's a good throw, man. And that's a good catch by Evan Ingram because Trevor Lawrence, like, blasts this ball through here. Good job here again by Cam Robinson had a good game, right? Cam Robinson, I mean, Bud Dupree's name was barely called at all, right? Cam Robinson does a great job with his kick step. He's going to kick out here and block a 9 tech. It just means he's lined up. 9 tech just means he's lined up on the outside of where a tight end would be, right? And some coaches even call this the 7 tech. It depends on who your coach is, but he's going to be lined up here to the boundary. Great job. Great job. Good throw by T-Law. Wait a second. DJM says, hey, yo, I thought this was a family-friendly. It is a family-friendly stream. Did I say something that wasn't? What did I say? Volkfang says they're waiting on more results on Trayvon as far as his injury. Probably we'll hear something about it tomorrow. Yeah, because I haven't heard anything on Trayvon Walker. Doug Peterson was such a great hire, especially since he gives the players ice cream. Okay. The ice cream thing is weird. Nolly says, Jags Instagram says the O-line hasn't given up a sack in a league-high 6 games. Not sure why that doesn't seem real, but the blocking on this play is great. Yeah, the line has been better. That's why this like Juwan Taylor thing is starting to like creep into my mind of like, can we get him back? Like, I'm starting to think that he might be a guy we need to prioritize getting back on this team. I don't know. I don't know yet, but I'm starting to get there. Sharney says, with Cisco hopefully bringing back in the lineup, where does that leave Wingard? Surely he has played well enough for the past little bit to not just be special teams player. Honestly, knowing Doug Peterson and what I've seen from him so far is that like he does not play favorites when it comes to playing time, and he will play who is giving him better production. That's why I think you'll see Dewey maybe play. I mean, not to say that Cisco won't play some snaps with Rayshon Jenkins. I think Cisco could play that role as well. But you're right. I mean, Dewey is making plays. I mean, he really didn't play that many. Even last game, he didn't play that many plays. I think we looked at it. I mean, I think he was under half the snaps for the defensive snaps, I think. So even now, he's not getting a lot of snaps. They did something interesting with Herndon at nickel, and they played Darius Williams outside. I don't know. Sea Breacher says, I know you're a time traveler, United. Did we make the playoffs this year? Well, it's kind of supposed to be a secret that I'm a time traveler. So I don't appreciate you airing me out. But I'm going to let you guys wait and see because I don't want to spoil it for you guys. I don't want to. A lot of people in the chat predicting a Jags win. 45-40, says Elliot Crabtree. Let's look at another Trevor throw here. Oh, how about a Trevor run? Listen, we'll call this the Trevor show, right? Look at this play. We all saw this. Look at it from the end zone, though. Yeah, inside zone, not. See ya, bud. Nice little stiff arm there. That's just an athlete. I mean, Trevor's an athlete. He's fearless. I mean, what quarterback does this? Like, I heard that Doug Peterson called the run play, and I mean, because you look how the O-line blocked. The O-line blocked for a run play, and Trevor called his own number there. The man's fearless. The man is absolutely fearless. 100%. I know you didn't mean it like that, but it still kind of it sounded wrong. I don't know what DJM I could have said. Oh. Okay. Honestly, DJM, when I said it, I did think that. I did. So I can't blame you for your mind going there because as the words were coming out of my mouth, I thought, yeah. XD Gamer says, I think we will lose. Oh, okay. That's fair. Listen, Vegas and everyone else agrees with you, so you're not in the minority. Jags Nation, Cisco playing that Jenkins role in the box would be tough. That's what I'm saying. with a bad toe. He's a sharp guy, said Ludwig. More stiff arms from Trevor. T-Law always comes back from his injuries. The dude is strong. I know, man. He does not get enough credit for being tough. Absolutely not. Dre Bay 904 says, who takes Trayvon's spot if he can't go? So that weak side edge rusher, I think Arden Key probably steps into that role. Yeah, that's what I would guess. Maybe Smoot get some snaps there as well. All right, let's see here. Again, we're just staying with Trevor. I got other plays with the defense, but let's keep the Trevor train. Again, there's the shoulder dip. I mean, did it buy him some separation? Maybe. Did you see that shoulder dip again? Watch his front shoulder. Pump fake. What a throw. What a just absolute throw. I mean, Evan Ingram, again, I mean, this was a good matchup for the Jags, for sure. I mean, I'm pretty sure Evan Ingram's 6'3". Andrew Adams, the defensive back, covering him is 5'11". So, again, I think Trevor just is cerebral. He knows the game. He knows he's got single coverage, and Evan Ingram's got an amazing height advantage on him. I mean, 4 inches. Great catch. Great catch. There's the shoulder dip. Great catch, Evan. DJ M says, over 50 people in the stream. Hit the like, boys. Yeah, hit the thumbs up. The videos have been doing really well recently. Appreciate you guys. Shout out to you guys. I know because the Jags are good. You know, I get that. Listen, I'm happy too. The Jags are good. So hit that thumbs up button. And yeah, the stream's been doing great. Appreciate y'all. Listen, again, if you're new to the stream, we're podcast now. This episode is actually not going on a podcast because I figured since there's so much video that we're dissecting, podcasters would probably just be confused. So this one's not. But yesterday's show where we celebrated the Jags win and we talked to the fans, that's on the podcast. Chris Mason says Arden is always a key factor. He is. Shammy says, I don't know if it bought separation, but it definitely slowed the free rusher for a split second. Yeah, that's a good point. Volkfang, channel member Volkfang says, also time for Kirk to have a 150-yard game so he can be up over 1,000 yards. I am noticing that Kirk is having this kind of like ping pong efficiency effect, like where like one game he'll go off and the next game like Zay Jones will go off and then Kirk will go off and then someone else will go off. Like he's like on pace for like every other game. So I think you're right. I think he's on pace. I think he's we're going to get into a shootout probably with the Cowboys. So I think he'll throw the ball to Kirk a lot and Kirk will have a great game. And listen, if you look at any of the stat lines for any like wide receiver who's like productive over a season, like that's sometimes that happens. Like you string together some games. It's just the life of a wide receiver at times. Carpe Diem says, came in late, but love your show. Go Jaguars. Thank you, Carpe. I'm just glad you're here, bro. Appreciate you. Cardiac Cats, who's a channel member, says, question out of left field. If you see this, who's your favorite prospect in the 2023 NFL draft? So my favorite prospect or my favorite prospect for the Jags? Because that's two different answers. If we're talking favorite prospect, I'm really interested in Anthony Richardson. I grew up a Gator fan. I don't get to catch as much college football anymore as I used to. But Anthony Richardson's got an interesting skill set that I'd like to see. And additionally, Anthony Richardson wasn't one of these highly touted guys that came out of high school. He wasn't like a 5-star. He was he was out of Gainesville, a local kid, and so I'm just interested to see. I think it'll be interesting to see what happens. I'm also interested in what happens with FSU's quarterback. So, forgot his name. What is it? Jordan Travis. But for the Jags, I think we need help in the secondary and the interior defensive line. Will Anderson, Ringo, someone pointed out. I don't know. We all on the Trevor train, says Brandon Waters. I like it. All right, let's see. I think we have more. I think we have more Trevor clips from this game. Let's see. This throw is one of my favorites. I mean, what a just dime. What an absolute dime. On the run, rolling out to the right. I know Marvin Jones is... Oh, Sharnhorse 42, or as we know him now as Sharny, has become a member. Thank you, Sharny. Dude, I appreciate it. Emotes. Yes, emotes. They're mine. Yes, Sharny. Thank you, brother. I appreciate it, man. Thank you. I'm always humbled by you guys being channel members because we're like equal when it comes to Jags fans. We're both huge. We're all huge Jags fans. That's why we're here. Thank you. Thank you. We all knew he was going to say Anthony Richardson. See, Preacher, get out of here. You know me too well. All right, the Matt Jones level. That's it, man. Dude's got a high ceiling. Haven't done enough research on him yet. I know, and me neither. And I usually dedicate a lot of time to draft prospects. But the Jags are still in contention, so we're not there yet. We are not there yet. Thank you, Sharny. Again, appreciate it. That was my favorite throw, too. Let's watch that one again. I mean, the play action. The Titans had bit on this play action so hard. I mean, look at no shot. 52. Nice try, buddy. You bit way too hard. The thing is, like, Marvin Jones wasn't able to get that much separation. I mean, they're both athletes, but what a throw, man. What a throw. I like what I saw from Clavon. Clavon only played like 8 snaps, so it was hard to but yeah, in those 8 snaps, he did good. Okay, so I think that's all of our Trevor plays. So thank you, Trevor. That's the end of our Trevor plays. Everything else is not Trevor. So great game by Trevor. Fearless guy. Fearless. I mean, he will throw the ball on the run, rolling out either direction into tight windows. I love it. He knows his matchups. He knows his blocking schemes. The guy is just light years ahead of every quarterback we've had around here in a long time. I mean, you have to think back to a guy like Brunell to even get close to who this franchise has seen like Trevor. Does a team not get a draft pick penalty? Yeah, the Dolphins got penalized their first round pick, so they don't. There's only 31 teams picking in the first round. All right, so here we go. Off the Trevor train. I don't want to show that play. Let's show this play. This is our boy Dewey, right? Again, this is what I'm talking about. It's kind of hard to see from like where you're at. You can't see it at all. Oh yeah, can you see it? Let me see here. Okay, it's really hard to see Dewey down here, right? Really hard. You have to look like really hard to see him down here, okay? But look at the timing of when he throws and when Dewey cuts on the ball. Watch this, okay? I mean, he's breaking immediately, and he goes straight to where the ball is going. There's obviously some sort of miscommunication between the Titans receiver and that's Matthews, I think, and where, I mean, he's going to block. I mean, Matthews is going to block, and Tannehill throws it to the seam. So, like, they were totally out. But this is great reaction time by Dewey. Great job. I mean, that's – how many times have we seen here in Jacksonville defensive backs drop that, right? Whether it's Shaq Griffin or Cisco or Jenkins. Like, you see these guys drop this ball, and Dewey just, like, stick them in the hands, man. I love it. Great job by Dewey there for sure. Duval Tillwedy, he's going to pull a Jameson Williams. I'm way behind on the comments here. Going to miss Marvin Jones Jr. next year, says Brandon Waters. Yeah, I know. Me too. He has good hands. Yep. Ali C says Travon Walker's best game since week 1. Yeah. I want to watch Dak throw 3 touchdowns to our secondary. Yeah, to our secondary. I like it. I got 42 Jaguar caps. All right, next play here. The Shaq Quarterman forced fumble. Look, you guys know me. I don't often try to teach life lessons here because that's not my role. On this play, though, it's hard not to, okay? It's hard not to teach life lessons. You look at a guy like Shaq Quarterman here. Okay, Shaq Quarterman's been through a lot. He's gotten like starting reps. He's gotten just special teams reps. He's from Jacksonville. He went to Oak Leaf High School here in Jacksonville. And watch him on this play. Like, we can take this play and we can make a parallel between our own lives. Okay, so I want everyone in the chat to take a second, look introspectively. All right, watch Shaq Quarterman. All right, thinks it's a run play, realizes he's wrong, falls. He falls down. Okay. How many times have you in your life have you been sitting on your butt in life? You just fell. You went the wrong direction and you lost your footing and you fell. How many times has that happened to you in life? A lot. if you're like me. But he gets up because he's resilient. He's going to go down the field. He's going to try to find his assignment in the passing game. And you can't quite see him here. Let's see if I can. I'm going to move this whole thing up here, okay? I don't know if you can see him there at the bottom of your screen. Falls again. He falls again on the same play. Look at him. He's on the ground. He's on all four. You ever been in life and you've just fallen? Things had been tough on you and you're thinking, man, life's tough. You get up, you pull yourself up by your bootstraps, then you fall again. And you're like, wow, I've fallen twice. And in those moments, a lot of times we think, man, I've fallen twice. I've failed twice. I give up, right? I give up on, I can't do it. I'm not good enough. I don't have what it takes. And a lot of people just stay right there on the ground and they never get back up. Not Shaq Quarterman. What does Shaq Quarterman do? He gets up for a second time. Full speed at Derrick Henry. A bigger mountain obstacle in his life. In full speed, he comes in and knocks the ball loose right into Josh Allen's hands for a huge turnover, which led to a Jaguars touchdown. Now, if Shaq Quarterman can get up twice, and he can get up off the ground, and he can go and make a play, and he can go and change the game, can't you get up twice after failing and make a play and change the course of your life? Thank you. That's the end of my life lesson there. I hope you enjoyed it. Send it to a friend who needs to hear that. The life metaphors. Waters. Oh, I needed this lesson, says EJ. That's right. That's right. That's right. LOL, happy feet drilled. The hit fumble on Henry by Shaq was like Rocky breaking Apollo Creed's rib. Whole different fight. It really was. Great play by Shaq Quarterman. I wish it was Shaq Griffin. And there he goes. Shaq Quarterman. There it is. What a hit. Lays the hit right there. Wham. Now Shaq can hit the ball. He can hit somebody. All right. He really can. Trevor can develop pretty damn good if you are throwing to LaQuant, Bustwell, Philip Dorsett. Yeah, I see what you're saying. You're right. I should stop watching and get back to editing. Sharney, if you need to do that, go do that. You can watch this later. Okay, this goes on VOD the second it ends. Sea Breacher says, I'm not 6'3", 250. It's a metaphor, Sea Breacher. It's a metaphor. I learned a lot, says XD Gamer. Thanks for the lesson, says Isaiah Jones. Montana says, good evening, gentlemen. Yeah, you're right. Hey, what's up? Montana, I'm glad you're here. Really glad you're here. We already went through all of Trevor. We're 40 minutes in. Now we're talking about everybody but Trevor. We just watched Shaq Quarterman fall twice and still get back up. Brandon Water says, laughing, Jason, you got me motivated as an MFer right now. That's right. Brandon gets it, bro. Brandon fights for a living. So I know he gets knocked down. So this metaphor is definitely for him, for sure. Shaq jersey time. Don't forget Chris Conley. Okay. We're not talking about Chris Conley. All right. Let's look at some D-line stuff here. Huge D-line guy, if you didn't know. All right. This play is one of my favorite plays from the game. Like, if you were to ask me, like, what's your second favorite play? The play I started with Trevor rolling out to the left and throwing it to Agnew is probably my favorite play. This is my second favorite play, and this is why. Okay. The D-line works as an absolute tandem on this play. Okay, so here's one thing you don't think about often, right? You think about D linemen as individuals. You think about how many sacks has the edge rusher had, how well can the defensive lineman stop the run. You kind of think of them as individuals, but when a good D line is playing together, then they're better than their individuals. So watch how the D line plays together. So this is going to be well designed by Mike Caldwell. I can look at this pre-snap formation and tell you this was Mike Caldwell a mile away. He loves doing this. Todd Bowles loves doing this. On third down, obvious passing downs, he puts both of his edge rushers in a 9-techs, right? So basically out pretty wide, which is good, right? You don't want to give him the chance to get blocked. So then what you're going to see here is Arden Key is going to engage the guard, and then his job is to run into the tackle so that Travon Walker can loop underneath and stunt underneath for an open lane. So if Arden Key can successfully engage here and then peel off and engage here without them realizing what's happening, Travon Walker has a chance to get up in this gap. So what else does this take, right? This takes right here. This is Smoot. This is your NASCAR package, right? Smoot, Key, Allen, and Walker. And he's going to get in here, and he's going to come in fast, and he's going to try to get a double team block here by the guard in the center. Josh Allen's going to occupy the tackle, and if executed perfectly, should get pressure. There it is. You see exactly. Watch Arden Key. Watch Arden Key on this play. I mean, he does exactly what he's supposed to do on this play. I mean, what a great blitz. I mean, look at this. Gets engaged, opens it up. Trevon Walker gets the pressure. I mean, this is an illegal block. They don't call it. This is holding right here. Illegal block. And then, we have Haas. Hashem, I appreciate it. $5. He says, nothing better than watching Jason break down and disrespect the Titans on a Tuesday night. Hashem. Thank you, buddy. I know Hashem for a while. He's a good one. So it means a lot to me that someone with your character would contribute $5. So thank you. I appreciate it. Trevon Walker makes this sack. Arden Key even said it in the post-game press conference interview. Arden Key cleans it up. I mean, they're all getting held. Gets there. Now, I know the Titans' O-line isn't amazing, but this blitz stunt was executed perfectly. And Trevon Walker had the speed, size, and strength to get to where he needed to be and disrupt Tannehill, and that was it, man. That was it. Timmy Devil 999 says, thank you. I was screaming illegal block at the TV. Absolutely it was. Ben Haney says, the best part about this game is the Titans gave us their best shot, and we still won by double digits. Chris Mason says, this chat's hardcore. They know all the stats. Chris, I've been a part of a lot of YouTube chats or whatever else, Twitch chats. I'm on Twitch, if those of you that are into that, Jags_United. And this chat is insane, bro. I will say someone's name, number, stat, and I'll have 15 people in the comments that are like, nah, you messed up there. I love that. Listen, I would rather hang out with those type of people than people that, you ever talk, I mean, everyone in this chat knows exactly what I'm talking about. Have you ever talked to somebody and they know you're like a Jags fan or whatever fan you are, and they're like, oh, how about that game? And everything that you're going to say is going to be way over their head, so you just dumb down your own self, and you're just like, yep, glad they won, just because it's going to be a waste of time to really give your opinion. This is not that. This chat is I feel like all those people collectively in one area. Base Mover says, Juwan staying boom fits this play perfectly. Yeah, it does. You're talking about the mic'd up. Yeah. The D looks supercharged. 90 in the chat. I have my chat hidden. I like that better. I don't like to know how many people are in the chat. If there's a lot, I'll get like excited and weird, and if there's not a lot, I'll get like boring. I don't know. So if I don't know, I'm the same person. It's a mental thing, guys. All right, let's stay with the D line here. Fatu Kasi. And again, if you're joining the show now, you missed about 45 minutes of Trevor Lawrence love fest. We broke down all of his best throws from the game. But right now, we're on Fatu Kasi because that's what we do around here. We give credit to everybody here, right? Love another Mike Caldwell formation. Again, I can look at this formation and tell you this is Mike Caldwell right here. Loves lining up. It's not quite a bear front. Now, some coaches would maybe call this a bear front because you have three guys basically within your center and guards. But because you have this outside alignment by Fatu Kasi and Gotsis, it's not technically a bear front. But if you were to tell me that the Jags were in bear front on this play, I wouldn't argue or correct you. It could be close enough. Obviously, you have Walker. They love putting Walker on the weak side. So if you're unfamiliar with the weak side is here. So this is Trevon Walker. The tight end is here, and they have a tight wide receiver, so they're going to call strength to the right. So basically, they're going to line up Josh Allen to the strength because typically he's going to have to take on double teams, and Trevon Walker can kind of get the backside either, whether it's a counter or a play action, or he has to come down the line, makes a tackle, whatever. So this is pretty typical for their lined up, but having the three defensive linemen tight is pretty Mike Caldwell-esque. Great job by the line getting a push. I thought Roy Robertson-Harris had one of the best games of his season. Look at Roy Robertson-Harris. Again, interesting to line him up, and I guess you could call this the three-tech because he's on the inside shoulder of the guard to the strong side, but at the snap, he's basically going to try to get to the outside shoulder of the tackle, which is interesting, but he does a good job. He takes on both blocks here, and he's able to really push this double team into the pressure pocket for Tannehill. I mean, again, a lot of people, maybe Henry... I gave a lot of crap in our contract show. You can go back and listen to it or watch it. I gave a lot of crap about the Roy Robertson Harris deal, the Rayshawn Jenkins deal, the Shaq Griffin deal. And again, not that they're bad players or bad people, but it's just like we can't afford to keep them around much longer. But Roy Robertson Harris, I don't know if we're going to be able to, if we can get him back on a team-friendly deal, like maybe like $8 million next year, I don't know if you can find a better player at $8 million. I really don't. You either have to pay more or you have to just go with like a guy that's going to be a liability for like nothing. So I don't know. Elliot Crabtree, who would you say the worst free agent signing ever from Jacksonville or from the Jags? The worst free agent signing was probably Hugh Douglas. He's kind of old school, but if you want to think like recently, Austin Safarian, was it? Oh, not Safarian Jenkins. Who was the tight end from the Broncos that we signed? It was gosh, you guys will, whoever it was, Julius Thomas. Julius Thomas was a pretty big bust. It looks like the play Trayvon got hurt on. It could be. I don't know. I actually don't even remember what play he got hurt on. All right, let's see what else we have here. Josh Allen. Josh Allen is pretty good here. And again, this is just a good stunt. He's going to – oh, this wasn't a stunt. This was just poor blocking here. And this is funny because I actually Nicholas Pettit right here. I actually wanted Nick Pettit. I did. I liked him out of Ohio State. I think he still can be a good player, but he's a rookie. You're gonna see Josh Allen do a pretty basic little jump cut type move to get to the opposite shoulder or his inside shoulder. And once he does that, he's able to just accelerate. Good job all around. From everyone. Dewey has a pretty good blitz here. Dewey come watch. I mean, I don't know if you can. Yeah, you can see him at the last minute. You can see him come down on the right of your screen. Dewey's going to come down here and he's going to blitz, and that's what's going to basically keep Tannehill in the pocket. Again, a lot of these sacks are just team blitzes. The team does a good job and they do enough to get the sack. Toby Gerhart was pretty bad. You're right, Carpe. I almost blocked him out. Julius Thomas, yep. Nick Foles was a waste of money. Elliott, good point. Good point. Toby Gerhart. Toby Gerhart was horrible. Toby Gerhart was so bad. And that was like, at least like, who are some other guys you guys were talking about? Nick Foles. There were some other guys. Julius Thomas. Andrew Norwell, Shaq Griffin, Joe Schobert. I don't know if he belongs on that list, but all those guys, at least I was excited about. And I was like, okay, these guys have proven to be good, and I'm excited that they're going to help. Toby Gerhart, I had no hope for him at all. Ben Haney says it took Mike Caldwell until week 14 to do what everyone has been clamoring for all season: put Walker's fingers in the ground and move Darius outside. That's true. It did take them way too long to make that adjustment. That's fair, Ben. It's very fair. Chris Mason, really young team. Look out. Next year is the year. No, I agree with you, man. I think most people were pointing to next year to be the year that the Jags make that next step. Tyler Eifert, DJM. I forgot all about Tyler Eifert. My goodness. I'm getting old. Bryce Pop. Yeah, that's a throwback there, Gary. Safarian Jenkins was bad, but he wasn't like, at least he contributed a tad. TJ Yeldon, he was a draft pick though. We're talking about free agents, I think. The wide receiver that was signed from 2012 from the Cowboys. Oh, you're talking about who was that? That was Joey Porter. We're talking about Joey Porter? You guys remember Joey Porter? Oh man. Joey Porter, man, another name that I haven't heard in a long time. Rubicon Racer says, I just got on the stream and had to hear Toby Gerhart. Y'all remember when they ran him up the middle on the goal line 4 times in a row? Horrible. Oh, gosh. I don't miss that at all. This season, Tyson Campbell is better than Ramsey. Okay. Remember the wide receiver that tripped on a brick and got a concussion? I think the last name was Robinson. He was with Shorts and Blackman. Not not Demarcus Robinson, not Shoelace, right? Yeah, you're talking about Shoelace. You're just good Lord. He's a coach now. He was a running backs coach. Not what is his name? Come on, guys. Robinson. He was the quarterback at Michigan. Laurent Robinson. Oh, that's Denard Robinson. Denard Robinson. It was what I was thinking of. Laurent Robinson. Yeah, he was horrible. Yeah, he was horrible. All right, so Joey Porter. Look at his Jacksonville Jaguars on January 29th, 2008. Joey Porter was signed by the Jaguars to a 6-year, $30 million. That's hilarious. That was like a lot back then, 2008. $10 million in guaranteed. In May, he underwent surgery. Did not play. Porter was cut by the Jaguars. He finished the season with 11 receptions for 181 yards and a touchdown. 181 yards. 181 yards. That is crazy. Denard Robinson. Lots of busts come through here for checks. Yeah, you're right. Tyron Johnson, he kind of counts. Shoelace, he kind of counts. Dude, we could go on a string of Aaron Campman. Oh man, I forgot about Aaron Campman. He was good with the Packers though, at least. Yeah, Julius Thomas. That was the one who came to my mind immediately. Julius Thomas was terrible. How about we talk about the best signings the Jags have had? Okay, I know it's not as fun, but who are the best free agent signings the Jags have had? Calais Campbell, Jimmy Smith, which C Breacher points out. Let's focus on the positive. Who are some good guys the Jags picked up in free agency? Derek Harvey is not one of them. Ben Haney, Torrey Holt. Torrey Holt's another one. Raiden, very good. Torrey Holt was another one that the Jags whiffed on, but he was kind of brought in as a veteran to kind of help the younger guys. Jimmy Smith, yeah. They called Denard a hybrid weapon or something, and he was a hybrid bad and awful. I had an interaction with Denard Robinson early in his career that I don't really want to air him out on YouTube, but I knew right away he wasn't going to work out. Campbell, bar none. Puzzlesny, says Stephen Reese and AJ Cajones. Paul Puzzlesny, Volkfang. Yeah, Puzzlesny was definitely a good signing for sure. For sure. I mean, listen, there's been some good. Mike Peterson, there you go. Evan Ingram, look at the DTWD. Malik Jackson, the great answers, boys. Great answers. That 2017 team had a bunch of them. Christian Kirk's looking good so far. Tiger Talk. Logan Cook was drafted, DJ. He was drafted. The former high school quarterback, Logan Cook. He's the emergency quarterback. I think when we saw last year, the year before. I mean, there's been some good signings here, man. I know there's been bad ones, and bad ones are more fun to talk about, but, let's at least equally talk about them because there's been some, some players that have helped us. Leon Searcy, very good point there, Rubicon. Zayday. Josh Lambo was that guy for a second. I met Fred Taylor in the toy aisle in Target. Oh. I ran into David Garrard the other day at Publix. That was nice. Denard was known around town for spending a bunch of money at the strip clubs. Oh, I mean, I think he coaches now. So, I would never say a bad thing about him. But some of the people that he was with definitely, back when he was drafted, didn't care too much about municipal marijuana laws. Let's put it that way. Carpe Diem says, Boye, how soon we forget. He was good for a little bit, but he kind of flamed. Kyle Brady, good point there, Ben. Sinderic Marks was good. I forgot about Sinderic Marks. Man, you guys are bringing back like names I hadn't thought about. Sinderic Marks, wow. Aluakon is looking good so far. Gary K says Natron Means. Natron Means, that's a deep pull there. A lot of people don't know who that is, especially the younger fans. Ridley, Tiger Talk, says Ridley is a gamble. Pardon the pun. You did that on purpose, Ridley or Tiger. You know it. That's a good one though. Sharney says Lambo was a solid player till Meyer. Well, really the last bit Marone as well. Yeah, I mean I'm not going to blame Urban Meyer for a kicker being bad. Stay off the weeds, says Timmy Temple. Chris Mason says I don't frequent strip clubs. Chris Mason, neither do I. Neither do I. In fact, I've never been to one, and I want to keep it that way. Rubicon Richard says Boye and Ramsey were great. Boye by himself, not so much. That's fair there, Rubicon. Back in the 90s, Isaiah Jones says. Miles Jack smoked a lot of the reefer. He looked like it. He definitely looked like it. I might have met David Garrard, though. David Garrard's a great guy. Tayshaun Gibson was okay. Tayshaun Gibson was okay. That's a great word for it. DTWD says, sorry, but one really bad word I'm not sure if you remember was Dante Moncrief. Ugh. I knew that signing was bad the second we did it. That took someone with half a brain to know that wasn't going to work. Good call, though. Unpopular opinion, Boye looked better at cornerback and then looked like the better. No. Ramsey, followed the number one. So you have to give him a little bit of credit for that. Ramsey and Boye were the cornerback duo in 2017. No. Blame Meyer for everything, including the 14-2 season in 1999 when the Titans beat us. Oh, yeah, seriously. Freaking Urban Meyer. Big Dog says Barry Church. Barry Church was, again, another guy that was good for a year. Keenan McCardell says Al Cajones. I like Keenan. Keenan's got a good head on his shoulders. Anyone that kind of moves into coaching is pretty good. Moncrief in Jacksonville is an instant no. Yeah, they should have known, Steven. They should have known bringing in a guy named Moncrief in Jacksonville that wasn't going to work. EJ Perry was an elite signing. Oh, was he Tiger Talk? Was he an elite signing? 2007, Aaron Glenn had a pick six against the Bucks and never heard from him again. Ben Haney, you have heard of him again because Aaron Glenn is the defensive coordinator for the Lions. Fun fact. Remember when AJ Boye picked off Phillip Rivers? Yes, I do. Worst signing, Coughlin to execute. Oh, executive football operation. Oh, yeah. Santoso. Yeah, he was big, though. Jags United. This is from Andres. Hope things are good. Late to the party, Jags Nation. But what's up? Andres, you are late. But listen, I'm glad that you're here, man. I appreciate it. We're about to end the show, actually, because we're about an hour. But make sure you go back and watch it. Isaiah Jones, everything went downhill when we got rid of Mercedes Lewis and Allen Robinson. But now it's on the rise again. Good point there, Isaiah. Turbo Duran says, hello, Jaguars fans. Raiders fan here, just checking this stream out. Well, Turbo, glad you're here. Hope you have a good time. I appreciate you being here and commenting. Good luck to McDaniels. I always respected McDaniels because of what he was able to do with Tebow. So hate me all you want, but I thought that was impressive. James Robinson was a good signing, says C. Reacher. Sharney's got it. Coughlin, amazing coach, Horde executive. Yeah, I just don't think he was. Listen, I work with a lot of coaches. I work in athletic administration, IRL, right? So I am around coaches. I've been around a lot of coaches who are unable to modernize for the type of player of the generation or they have. Coaches get stuck in their ways. Like it worked and it'll always work. Well, no, that worked in the 90s and players aren't the same, right? You can motivate players differently back in the day. So coaches, the best coaches, are able to be flexible and change their coaching style to who they have. Even guys like, for as much as you want to say Saban and Belichick are like hard-nosed old school guys, they modernize their play calling and their schemes a lot to like the modern NFL. So you have to be able to change it up. I don't think Coughlin was willing to change up his coaching philosophy and strategy. And he was just like, you know what, you're going to do it my way or the highway, and that just doesn't work right now. Hit the likes, lads, says Hosh. Oh, yeah, hit the likes. I appreciate it. Jaggernaut says, Duval, any news from Kevin Austin Jr.? Tiger, stop it. Stop it. Okay, all right, listen, I think it's going to be it for me. Great. Listen, love it. Hour-long show. That's what I'm talking about. If you enjoyed the show, make sure to subscribe or just mark your calendars for Friday night at 9 p.m. We do shows every Tuesday and Friday, and we sprinkle in shows throughout the week whenever I have some time and I'm available. So make sure that you are subscribed so you get those notifications. You can follow the Twitter or the Instagram to get live updates as well. You can also subscribe to the podcast on Spotify, Jaguars United. Last thing I'm going to plug, I feel like a freaking plugger, dude. Twitch, Jags_United. I have some time off coming up here, so I'm going to be putting out all sorts of kind of content through the various platforms. So just follow everything. And it'll be good. Listen, I appreciate all you guys being here. If you were here late, go back and watch it. If you were here the whole time, I appreciate it. The channel members that were in here, Sharney, a new channel member, I appreciate it. Volk Fang was here. I know Hosham had a $5 donation. I appreciate that. Volk Fang was here. Base Mover was here. Chandler Berger was here. I missed his comment, but he was here. So thank you to all the channel members. Make sure to